Hi folks, this is Rose from In Rose's Garden, and today we're going to work on a pair of earrings using our Nutcracker design kit from SoftFlex company. Now what I'm going to use is the little ballerina slipper and the little ballerina that I painted the other day. And we're going to make a double drop dangle. So similar to the ones I'm wearing. See how we have two drops here on this? So it's going to be similar to this. The pattern is similar to this. Of course, their beads are entirely different. But so let's turn down and we'll get to work on that. Okay, I've got the beads I going to be using in this little baggie, but then I've also got some eye pins. Well, actually, these are head pins, but I'm going to turn them into eye pins. And a couple of ear wires. Drop that one. So let's open these up and I will show you what I have planned. Now, this is the long portion of the dangle with the little ballerina at the bottom, and this is the short dangle with the little slipper. So what we're going to do is we're going to, let's get it. Well, right now we only need half of the items out because we're only going to work on our first earring, of course. So the other half can sit over here, so they're nice and safely put away. And we're going to put this little bluish bead at the top, then a daisy spacer, this matte pearl, and then like so, and then this is going to hang at the bottom. And then for the long dangle, which has the little ballerina on it, we are going to use a little piece of chain up at the very top. And then we're going to have the pearl, one of these gold melons, this really pretty crackle bead, and then our ballerina will hang like this. So there's the other half of this one. So let's get working on this. So the first thing we want to do is we got to turn these head pins into eye pins, and that's really simple. Just going to cut this little piece off the top here. Might as well do all four while we're at it. And then we just have a nice piece of wire. So the first thing we're going to do then is, of course, make our, we'll do a simple loop at the bottom. We could do a wrapped loop. Maybe I will do a small wrapped loop at the bottom. We're not going to do very many wraps on this though. Maybe 1, 2. In fact, I didn't leave enough wire to make a lot of wraps. In fact, I may not have left enough wire to do any wraps. Let's see. Bring this around. See, I didn't leave very much wire at all, but we're going to put our little ballerina on here, snap her into place. Then we will make, I think I have enough for one loop here. Maybe not. It doesn't want to drop into place properly. We'll see. If it doesn't want to drop in, though it looks like it did finally, dropped just one loop. Tuck her in there. Straighten her up. There we go. And then we'll put our beads on here. There's our ballerina in place. So now we want to put it on this little piece of chain. So we will do our regular loop here. Feed this little guy onto here. Okay. Now we'll wrap this one. So here is our first section done with our ballerina on our chain. So now we need to do our second section, which will be our little slipper, which will then hang down over here. So again, we make a little wrapped loop. Now I gave this one a little bit more room for a wrap or two here so that it wasn't as difficult as the other one was with only the one. There we go. Now we'll hold the wire and do a couple of wraps. Cut this little bit off and tuck it in. It's a little bit crooked. See how that's going off to one side just a hair's breadth? So just take it and straighten her up like so. There we go. And now we'll put these beads on. Now this one doesn't need to hook on a chain. It's going to jump ring onto its component, so we'll just wrap that up. Now we'll cut the excess off and tuck this one in. Now what we're going to do is jump ring this onto our ear wire. It's going to sit just like so. So let's get a couple of small jump rings. Let's see. Yeah, there they are. Now I wasn't paying attention to which way I turned these, so I may end up having to do some little turns on my wires to get them to sit properly. We'll find out in just a moment. So this goes on to the jump ring, and then the little top of the chain goes onto our jump ring, and then it goes through our ear wire. Like so. And then we close our jump ring up. And now's when we check to see if we are going to have to do some twisting. And yes, see how my slipper's sitting sideways here? My little ballerina is looking pretty good. But my slipper is sitting sideways. So what we need to do is take this, hold it, and do a twist. Let's see if we got that twist good enough. Yeah, I think that'll be all right. So, though maybe just a touch more would be better. Oops, I think I went the wrong way. Maybe not. There she is. So there's earring number 1, and now we need to do earring number 2. And we'll do this exactly the same way with the ballerina, bead strand, and chain, and then the slipper and the bead strand up to the jump ring. So let's slide this slightly to the side here, and then we'll drop out our other pieces and we'll get making those. So we'll start with our little ballerina strand. As you'll recall, I didn't leave much wire up at the top for my loop. And even though I probably could have made it a little bit bigger this time around, I really didn't. We're going to make it more or less the same. Come on, babe. Okay. Now we'll hold and do our twist here. I think I actually may have give me a little more wire, which is good because that other one was a wee bit too short. There we go. There it is on there. Needs a little straightening. There she goes. And now we will put our beads on. Your chain on. Now these are scraps of Jesse James Beats chain reaction. You can use any chain that you have around the house. See how that loop's still a little bit out of whack? And so I'm holding it a little higher than I normally would, because I'm going to pull this one up and try and round that a little bit more by doing so. Go. See, it's still a little bit wonky, but I'm going to pull it a little this way and squish it down just a little bit. So, go. And there is our first one. Now we need to do our second little slipper. So we do our bend and bring her around. Got this a little tight that time. Okay, now I'm going to loosen this just a hair's breadth so that the slipper will go in easily without my mangling it. And it looks like I could have opened it just a hair's breadth more even. And I'm going to do that. And even though this has a tail, so to speak, on it, you would open it when you're opening like that, just the same as you would a jump ring or a simple loop. Got this little bit of extra off here. And then straighten our wire if it needs straightened. Actually, this one's looking pretty good. I don't think it needs any straightening up. So then we put our beads on. And make our loop. Now remember, this one doesn't need to go on anything. It's going to be jump ringed, so we can just wrap it right away. Trim a little bit off. Tuck it in. And then this slipper is finished. And we will... Now, because when I made this earring, I put the slipper on this side, I now want it on this side so that they're opposite to each other. So when you wear them, they're an opposite way. So like that. So let's get the jump ring open and put these on. So this time I want to start with this one, the slipper, and then the ear wire. You'll notice I flipped that. I looked down and my slipper was facing the wrong direction. So I turned it around so that it was facing the proper direction. So now, of course, what we want to do is check to see if our things are sitting the way we want to. And again, you see the slipper sitting sideways. The ballerina is fine, but the slipper is sideways. So we're going to take our piece right here, take hold of both loops, and twist. And there, see how she's looking there now? I noticed that this looks a little crooked since I twisted it though, so we're going to straighten that out. That's just a matter of taking hold of it and giving it a little squish. Dropped our little ballerina. So there she is. That one's done now too. We'll re-look at this to see if I'm still happy with the way the slipper's hanging. And it's looking pretty good, though this little bit up here at the top is a teeny bit crooked on this one, so we'll straighten it. And we're pretty happy with those. There we go. There is our ballerina earrings. They're dangly. They are long. Let's see how long. And if you didn't want them this long, yeah, they're about 3.5 inches to the bottom of her foot. If you didn't want them this long, you could do a couple of different things. Number one, you can make your bead strands shorter, this one, or you could leave the chain out. However, that does have the bead strands sitting right against each other, which sometimes is a bit of a problem, but pretty. So there is our nice long ballerina earrings. Yeah, anyway, there's the ballerina earrings using the SoftFlex company's Nutcracker kit. And as you can see, they're about the same length as the ones I already have on, my Christmas ones. So they will hit your shoulders if you make them this long. But there they are. Our little ballerina slipper earrings. Slipper still wants to turn a little bit, I think. Oh, it's so we don't twist it up. There we go. There she goes. Hope you enjoyed making these with me. This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden, and we've been using the SoftFlex design kit, the Nutcracker. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.